Imagine dropping a Formula One engine into like a golf cart. You hit the gas, and instead of winning a race, the entire chassis literally shakes itself apart because, well, it was never built for that kind of power. Welcome to this deep dive into the 2026 landscape of ChatGPT.
Yeah, that is a great analogy.
Right. Today we're looking at the brand new GPT 5.4 ecosystem. Our mission here is to cut through all the massive hype, look at what this technology can actually do, and explore a really surprising reality, which is why the corporate world is just completely failing to adapt to it. Okay, let's unpack this. We have handed humanity the most unprecedented autonomous digital tool in history, and yet we're fundamentally struggling to use it properly.
It really is the great irony of 2026, honestly. I mean, we've built a computational engine that is capable of PhD-level reasoning, but we're trying to force it to drive our golf carts.
Exactly. And to understand why the cart is falling apart, we have to look at GPT 5.4's most disruptive new feature, which is native computer use. We aren't just talking to a chatbot anymore, are we?
Not at all. For years, AI needed an API, which is basically a custom-built digital backdoor just to interact with other software.
Right, so if there was no API, the AI was just locked out.
Exactly. But GPT 5.4 bypasses APIs entirely. It literally processes your screen's graphical interface visually. It moves the cursor, it clicks, and it types exactly like a human operator would.
Wow.
Yeah, it actually scored a 75.0% on the iOS World Benchmark. And that explicitly tests operating a desktop computer.
Wait, really? A 75%?
Yes, which actually beats the human expert baseline of 72.4%.
That is wild. It's like, AI evolved from a consultant who slides a report under your door to an intern who pulls up a chair and physically takes over your keyboard.
That is precisely what it's doing. It navigates legacy databases or, say, books reservations on an open web browser, and all completely autonomously.
But here's where it gets really interesting. If the AI is literally driving the mouse now and beating experts at complex workflows, why are businesses failing so spectacularly to capitalize on it?
Well, it comes down to what the MIT Media Lab calls the Gen AI divide. They looked at 300 public corporate AI deployments and found a staggering 95% of them failed to generate any measurable financial return.
Wait, 95%? That is a massive failure rate. Why is it so high?
Because companies are treating AI like static traditional software. They try to force this highly dynamic, non-deterministic agent into rigid, brittle legacy workflows.
Non-deterministic meaning it doesn't just follow a strict A to B path, right?
Exactly. It makes creative decisions on the fly. So, for example, if an AI autonomously negotiates and books a vendor contract in seconds, but your standard operating procedure requires 3 different managers to manually click approve in some antiquated portal, well, the whole process just breaks.
Right, the golf cart shakes apart. So what does this all mean for you listening? Well, it means you're probably already doing this.
Oh, definitely.
You're secretly using your personal $20 a month ChatGPT Plus account, or maybe the $200 a month Pro tier, to summarize boring PDFs at work because the official company software is just too clunky. They're getting the promotion, but you're also a walking security risk.
Exactly. It's called shadow AI. Because the official corporate bots are so restricted, over 90% of employees are just bypassing them entirely.
90%.
Yeah, so the individual gets a massive productivity boost, but the company gets zero systemic efficiency, plus massive vulnerabilities.
Right, so employees are smuggling proprietary data into these tools just to get their jobs done. But the real danger isn't just where that company data is going. It's what the AI itself is legally built out of.
Yeah, there's a huge issue.
Because if these models are built on stolen IP, well, every piece of code your shadow AI writes might be a huge liability.
What's fascinating here is a concept called regurgitation. For a long time, AI companies defended their training methods under the legal doctrine of fair use. They argued the AI just learns abstract linguistic patterns.
Yeah.
Much like a human reading a book.
Wait, but hasn't Silicon Valley always relied on the fair use defense? I mean, reading a book to learn patterns isn't stealing. Why is this suddenly different?
Because legal discovery in the New York Times lawsuit proved it's not always just learning patterns. Mechanically, if a model sees the exact same copyrighted article thousands of times during its training phase, it over-indexes on that specific text.
Oh, I see.
So instead of abstracting it, the AI occasionally memorizes and spits out verbatim copyrighted text.
It's literally regurgitating the training data on demand.
Completely. And this empirical proof threatens to completely invalidate the fair use defense. I mean, we already saw Anthropic agree to a historic $1.5 billion settlement over using pirated books. It is an existential threat to the entire industry.
Wow. So to wrap this up, we have fully shifted from conversational chatbots to autonomous digital agents.
We have.
Yet the true bottlenecks aren't computational anymore. They are human organizational structures and legal frameworks.
If you take away one thing from this deep dive today, let it be this. To actually succeed with this technology, you must fundamentally redesign your personal and professional workflows.
Right.
You have to build systems meant for autonomous agents. Do not just bolt AI onto your old habits.
Which brings us back to that shiny new intern taking over your keyboard. As AI perfectly mimics our digital actions, clicks our mice, and regurgitates human knowledge on demand, will the ultimate premium currency of the future simply be verifiable, unoptimized human imperfection?
That is a fascinating question.
Something for you to think about. Catch you next time on The Deep Dive.